Hi, this is Fix on 8 and welcome to Ateez the Diary Film storyline. Here I will explain their individual story according to the diary booklet included in the diary album. In this way we will have a clear path of the story and how we may interpret and relate them to our past theory videos. Before you continue, a quick disclaimer. The amount of time for research and analyzing is limited. I may or may not provide clear answers to your question, but each interpretation will be backed up with references. Are you ready to find out their story? Let's begin. To my understanding, the diary film is a reflection of every youth story. It tackles the most vulnerable time of our life. The time of seeking purpose and meaning in life where every one of us can relate, and this series will explain why Ateez stands for 8 teenagers. Let me break down the 8 stories and how different personality has come together. In this story, one important place is being used as metaphor of the word escape. Was there a place in your life where you forget the reality and cherish the moment of internal peace and happiness? For Ateez, it is their hideout, or the warehouse where their dreams started as a teen. But just like how this place became their source of happiness, it also became a memory of brokenness. The happiness they felt in this place is short, as their team separated before they even begin to start reaching their dreams. The title of Hongjoong's story in the booklet is I Don't Want to Be Forgotten, as if I never existed. Hongjoong's touching the glass watching idols on different screens means how the bright stars who have reached their dreams is different from him who creates music but lives in an average life. No matter how wonderful the lyrics he had written, if no one hears, is like wanting to fly without wings. In this story, Hongjoong also came from a broken family and he started to live alone, but when he met the members on the warehouse he started to have a second family. That's why Hongjoong is a key for them to be together again. The Fedora Man chose to appear in his dreams because he is the only one left believing in their dream after everyone left. His heart still desires to find his family, music, and his friends. On Hongjoong's dreams, the Fedora Man is giving him an opportunity to change their decision. Where the Fedora Man says, "It's not the reality that make your dreams disappear but your decisions." This question leads to a reference to Answer Era, where the albums are in blue and red color, which represents the blue pill and the red pill. If you take blue pill, this story will end and you will wake up from your dreams and believe the world as it is, or the red pill is to stay in utopia, new world or wonderland, and let your mind be free from this world that is blinding you. The Fedora Man also says that both worlds are real. But his advice to Hongjoong is to follow his heart by giving him the map and an hourglass that connects different dimensions. So the real answer on this whole storyline is, what did Hongjoong chose? The red pill or the blue pill? Let's go to the other members' story for us to know how unfortunate events in your life can be turn out to be something beautiful.
그때 난 진짜 나에게 부족한 것이 무엇인지 깨닫게 되었다. 내가 가지지 못한 것, 내게 진짜로 필요한 것.
Seonghwa represent the type of youth that experience the same pattern of life over and over again. Just like how this world taught us about the standard and system, how everything is categorized as right and wrong. But it became our invisible prison that we allow the world's way to control us and forget what we can do beyond that. That's why when he saw that girl dancing with freedom, it felt different. How can someone not care about the world? That's when he knew that was the kind of feeling he never had. The feeling of being free. The feeling of being empowered. The feeling of taking control of your life and be who you really meant to be.
아직 남아있는 형의 공간. 형이 이렇게 된 건 나 때문이야. 이제 내가 형의 꿈을 이룰 거야.
In Yunho's story, they have included his older brother that is so close to him. The title of his diary is The Weather is Clear. He reminisced their time together and how they would go to Han River for a street performance. Street performance is also when Yunho and Hongjoong met. But an unfortunate accident happened to his brother. There's no clear story revealed yet. But it could be that his brother is going to his performance bringing the guitar and Yunho witnessed the car accident that made him traumatized. The broken guitar symbolizes his brother's broken dreams. Yunho even described this brother's passion like Hongjoong because they both love music so much. The accident caused for his brother to be in deep sleep or comatose and Yunho might be waiting for him to wake up. Yunho said that he would visit him again and again until he wakes up, and when that happened he will show him that he continued his dream of pursuing music. Yunho's story tells us a kind of story of self-forgiveness. He blamed himself with what happened to his brother. But after that he rise up and found hope in dancing again. That this time it's not his dreams alone but also his brother's dream.
아버지는 나에게 자유롭게 꿈을 펼치라고 말씀하셨다. 제한된 자유, 새 장 속에 새가 된 것 같아.
Yeosang's story represents a story where our parents decide of who we would become. But sometimes what they thought that was best for us is not something that would really make us happy. Yeosang is like a bird in a beautiful cage, where people thought you had everything in life. But you can't be anything and fly where you want to be. That's why even though his father gave him the freedom to expand his dreams, it will always be limited freedom. In his diary he says that he had a habit of disassembling speakers, TV and appliances and reassembling them again. That this is the only time he could be himself and do what he wants to. One day, he passed by a shabby warehouse where he heard music. He saw the members playing around and creating music. They asked him if he knows how to fly a drone and he said yes he can. Even though he is uncertain that the strangers is someone he must avoid. He found himself being happy whenever he is with them. Yeosang's parents knew that he was hanging out with them. But even though he was worried about his parents' disapproval, he continued being with them because that is where he is truly happy. But just like how every story is a memory of short happiness, Yeosang had to let go of the group. He had to sacrifice his happiness so the team could go back to normal. But everything shattered, the team separated and the warehouse was foreclosed. Yeosang apologized to the members but it was too late because the team have decided to go separate ways.
또 다시 이사를 간다고 한다. 세계의 학생증, 세벌의 교복. 하지만 친구는 아무도 없다. 아친의 삶은 어딘가로 끌려가는 것 같아.
Sense story is a reflection of how the decisions of the adult may affect the life of a child as they grow. Sense story is about not having a permanent home, that they would always move to different places. 3 uniforms means he has to transfer to different schools and make new friends. But there was a time that it affected his self-esteem of expressing his feelings. Because every time he is becoming close with someone, they had to move again. So when he got to know Ateez, finally he met someone that could understand his feelings. Seonghwa, who had learned to be free, taught Sen that he should be free and do it his way. Wooyoung, who had become his close brother in the group, helped him to perfect his dance moves. And the fact that his father told him that they had to move again. Sen taught to himself, it's not always that you find the kind of friends who will help you find your meaning in life. So this time his resolution is not go with his father but stay with his friends.
이어폰 속 나 혼자만의 세상. 굳이 세상과 부딪히느니 차라리 혼자 있는 쪽이 나은 것 같았다. 잠깐 느꼈던 행복도 사실은 나와 상관없는 것이었다. 어차피 원래 난 혼자였어.
Unlike any wonderful teenage story, Mingi is a reflection of youth who has been a victim of a cruel world. He lived in poverty that when he was a child he was bullied and isolated like an alien. The bullies would laugh at him even if he wanted to die at the very moment. Since then Mingi never believed in dreams. He is breathing to exist, but not living at all. From elementary to middle school no one would sit with him in a table during breaks. So since then he got used to the feeling of being alone. This is why when he grew up, he became protective of himself. No one could hurt you if you would protect yourself. He learned to fight back and never care to anyone. All he have is himself. He is someone who was not scared of death. His earphone is the only escape he knew. When there is music at least he could live for another day. But then someone never grew tired talking to him whether he answers or not. That is Wooyoung, who would go and sit with him during break and talk endlessly about music and his favorite idols even if he doesn't care at all. So in this world where he could not trust anyone, Wooyoung was different. He became the first person he can open up himself with, and the first person to listen to him. When Mingi heard Wooyoung laugh, that's when he started to have hope. Wooyoung was the one who invited him to the warehouse and be part of the group.
수많은 사람들 앞에서는 두려워. 무대 공포증. 나 혼자서는 버티기 힘든 것이었다. 혼자가 아니라면, 함께 해주는 친구들이 있다면 나도 해낼 수 있을 거야. 이젠 난 혼자가 아니야.
Wooyoung's story is about overcoming his stage fright, even though he is good at dancing and big agencies are after his talent. He couldn't perform properly with live audience because his body will start to freeze. But when he met Hongjoong, Seonghwa and Yunho in street performance, he realized what he is lacking. That dancing is more than just technique but a way to express your feelings with your whole body. So ever since he was dancing with them, he started to break the chains that is stopping him. Before he started dancing, he would always remember 3 things that Seonghwa told him. Everything will be okay. Believe in yourself. And you can do it, while Hongjoong told him the word of wisdom. That believing in yourself is always the key. With these encouragement, Wooyoung would feel their presence and could finally dance in the middle of the crowd.
한때 나의 모든 것이었던 것들, 내 첫 번째 꿈도 그리고 나의 두 번째 꿈도 농구도 음악도 이렇게 연기처럼 사라지는 걸까?
Jongho is about a story of losing your first love, the life that you plan for yourself. He has no plan in life except for being the youngest basketball player to play in the nationals. But he got injured that caused him not to play basketball anymore. One day, at the hospital, he begged for the doctors to do anything, that he wanted to play basketball once again, but even the doctors couldn't do anything. He gave up his passion and lived a life with no direction. But when he met those boys from the warehouse, he found his second dream, and that is music. It was hard for Jongho to believe in his dream again. But just as he started believing in music is when Mingi quit the group. Mingi said that the friendship they had at the warehouse meant nothing to him. That's why you can see a scene where Jongho wants to punch Mingi. Maybe a way to wake him up and realize what he was saying. But Mingi did not fight back, instead with lifeless eyes. He wears his earphones and leave.
아직도 익숙한 거리 그렇게 있기 위해서 비에 타닌 골목 난 익은 가게들 옷처럼 마셔보았네 그때와 똑같은 잔에 하나도 바뀌지 않은 그 의자와 그 향기와 날 알아보는 주인 아직 시간이 멈춘 걸까? 여긴 모든 게 그대로인데 작가의 빛은 내 얼굴과 맞은편 자리는 이젠 초라하게 변해 이곳은 어울리지 않아 마침 흘러나온 그때 그 노래를 다시 따라해봐도 그저 내 목소리만이 무한하게 들려오네 비어있는 내 맞은편과 더 이상은 할 말 없어서 모처럼 나온 내 발길도 떨리네.
If you would summarize this storyline, it could be the beginning of everything the diary can be prequel before Treasure era. The journey that resulted to a leader's decision of finding his members again. The only treasure that he had. If this world is not for us, maybe there is a world somewhere that belongs for us. The kind of world where we can be together again. The world where the pain is less. Where we are free. A world that doesn't exist yet. A world that we will create together. Maybe it's time to think like a child again. Where everything is possible. Again, this is Fix on Ateez Fever Part 1 Diary Film Explained, and thank you for listening to my thoughts.